Next we're going to go into the medical side. Now, there's a lot of great small medical kits out there. Sometimes I'll buy a few and I'll cannibalize them and put in there what I like. Off-DEET towel wipes, these work really well. Insect sting relief wipes, a couple in these package. Depending on where you're at, I found it depends on what bugs like and what they don't like. One thing I like to do is get Vicks Vapor Rub cream and put that on my neck, and also putting it on the edge of any clothing that's near skin, and that seems to drive the bugs away. They don't like the eucalyptus. Also some burn cream. Anytime you're playing with fire, you can get burnt. Triple antibiotic ointments. Hand sanitizer. These are alcohol based, so there's two purposes for these. You know, clean yourself up before you eat. All right, especially if you're around water that could have runoff from a farm or any other chemical runoff, you gotta be careful, just like if you were anywhere else. Also, this is a alcohol-based content, so this is actually flammable as well, and you can use this for fire starting methods. A small package of sunscreen. Sunscreen is something that most people wouldn't think about having in an emergency kit or some kind of wilderness survival kit. But if you're out there, a sunburn can dehydrate you extremely fast. Plus, it's painful. It's just an added distraction. It can get infected. So some sunscreen can really help you out in a pinch. A limited supply of bandages of different sizes. All right. And last but not least, some hydrocortisone cream in case you're having a reaction, some kind of plant life or some kind of insect bite. All right. You're going to use these up if you're out there. So make sure you check your pack. Make sure you're refreshing it, any supplies that you need pretty frequently. Always checking your gear and everything, making sure everything's operational. SPF chapstick. Chapstick, chapstick, chapstick. I literally probably had 3 or 4 chapsticks squirreled away in all my packs somewhere. Alright, so don't forget your chapsticks, guys. Small roll of duct tape. Always a must. I mean, I'm not even go through the possibilities with duct tape. We know they're all limitless. We went over the shelter, the tarp earlier for shelter building. Now, one cool trick that I learned, I got this from Dave Canterbury as well, is these elastic cords with these little carabiners go around the tree. They clip right into the grommets inside the tarp. He's got some great videos on that you can check out on his website. Throw in here a couple of different lengths of 550 cord. You really can't go wrong. I think these are all, I think I got 25 feet, 25-foot lengths of 550 cord. Now something else I throw in there is some boot laces. Now you could use 550 cord for boot laces, but I just went ahead and threw these in here. They were cheap in case you tear your boots. Already went over the knee pads. One thing I threw in here to test it out last time was one of these old school nylon army hammocks. Now this hammock wasn't that bad. I think the main purpose I would use it for is to keep my gear up above the ground more than I would use it to sleep in. You know, especially if you bring any food with you, you want to keep it away from bears, you want to throw it up in a tree or something like that. I would not tell people to sleep in this unless you want to wake up with a real sore back. It's not impossible, but I mean, I'm a tall guy. I'm over 6 foot, so this wasn't conducive with a good night's sleep for me. But it might be different for you. You might like it. We're going to look at a little bit of food items. In a survival situation, food is going to be your last thing you need to worry about. Okay, you want to worry about your shelter. You want to worry about your fire. You want to worry about purifying water. Okay, you can dehydrate in 3 days. It's going to take you 3 weeks to starve to death. All right, and if you're like me, maybe 4 weeks. Broken down MREs. Also, one thing I like to grab is these little tuna packs. They also make chicken and salmon. These are great. They last for a long time. Add a little bit of flavor. You know, if I have some smoked tuna, throw it in with my rice, I got a really balanced meal. There's these 400 calorie bars right here. They just come in 2 flavors, raspberry and vanilla. Now these things are hard as bricks. You can probably use these as some kind of projectile. So I'm sure they don't taste well, but in a pinch, you don't have any food, you're starving, these will work. Slingshot band. I have tried to do the old slingshots, and I'm not very proficient with the slingshot. Give me a pistol and I'll do much better, but we're going to keep this in here and keep on trying this out. You can also use it as a tourniquet if need be, so for that purpose I keep it in the bag. but actually tying it between two sticks and taking out small game, good luck. If you're the great hunter out there and you're proficient with it, then I'll send you my slingshot. Almost more important than what we have in the bag is how we pack and prepare the bag. Alright, so we're going to look at that next. Looking at the front, we have this first pocket right here. This is where I usually pack all of my medical supplies, my emergency blanket, and my emergency poncho. So this is a pocket that I'm not going to really need to get to anytime fast. The compression straps are usually packed over this, so if I need to get into anything I can, but this is usually the last pocket that I'm ever going to use, if I use it at all. Alright? Now, so look at the top pocket right here. This pocket, I tend to pack all my fire starting stuff in this pocket. Alright? This way, I drop the bag, I can open this up, it's right there. All my fire starting supplies, depending on the situation, are readily available. Any tinder or anything I can collect in here, I can grab and it'll be good to go. The main compartment, I usually stash any MREs or food into these sleeves right here. There's two of these. And then I'll put my canteen bottle in here, my Nalgene with my rice in here, any other odds and ends that doesn't fit into the main compartment of the bag. On the sides, I usually put in one section my bungee cords and 550 cords. And in the other section, I'll put that hammock if I'm going to carry that, or any other small items in here. The compression straps down here store my tarp very well, as well as the compression straps on the side, as you saw before, are a great place to place my knee pads. Now, you might have noticed this other bag right here. This is one of the Maxpedition canteen bags. Canteen goes right in here. On this side, I put my signal mirror, my compass. I also put my multi-tool and my flashlight. So this stuff is readily available if I need to get a drink, check my position. If I see somebody I'm trying to signal, it's right here I can grab. Flashlight, multi-tool, anything I need to get, I don't have to take the bag off to use it. Alright. The bag also has some more webbing if you want to put anything else on here. I could place my Ontario knife, but I usually keep that in the bag because I don't use that readily when I'm on the trail.